glad Jerry put this together. I'm very passionate about this, and this concept started really when my daughter started first getting recruited, and I really don't believe college athletics, football in particular, has done a great job with this. You hear the comment, everybody's challenged about APR, everyone's challenged about graduation rate, and I don't think that's enough. And we don't want to be a program that just complains about things. We're not. So the job of the mission of a university, you keep hearing about graduation of players, and there was an era where I remember when I was a young person, when you graduated, you had a job. There was usually jobs available now. After hearing it so many times and witnessing with players we coach where they get a job or they get a degree, and I don't want to say it's a meaningless degree because that's not fair, but maybe it's a major they're not interested in, maybe it's just a survival degree, which happens, and then they graduate, they put so much time and effort into this, and they don't have a job opportunity to wait for it. And what really sparked it was when my oldest daughter started getting recruited, and I went on the visits, and they started talking about locker rooms and et cetera, and I didn't care. All I cared about is what are you going to do for my kid when it's done. And that's when we started real life applications. We started at Florida, and then we've taken it here, and it's really taken off here. Number one, because, well, first of all, the time and effort. Ryan Stamper's full-time devoted to it. I would say I spend, I don't want to give you a percentage because I'm not sure, but a good majority of my time in the spring is making sure that our kids are getting shadow opportunities and internships, and we do a good job. Once a week we take football time away from football, and we spend it with real life. We call it real life application, real life Wednesdays this year. So I just want to share that with you. I just want to make sure that the second point that I think that colleges need to do, universities need to do a better job. Sure, our kids have built-in advantages, especially the guys that are on scholarship. They have tutors, they have meals, they obviously get their school paid for, but they're also against it a little bit, and that's the normal student, the good student, has an opportunity to have internships. There's time, and we've tried to do that in the past, and unfortunately everyone's requesting 12 to 16 week internships. There's not a window of opportunity for our guys to do that. So our Maymaster we took, and we've done many internships, 3 to 4 week internships. JP Morgan Chase is going to work with us and put together one next year. We're hoping to get that done specifically for OSU football players, so they can fit that mini internship in there, because the two things that employers look for are community service and job experience, and our guys get plenty of community service, but they don't get the job experience. And so the amount of effort and time that Ryan Stamper, our staff, myself, put into securing these opportunities for our players is endless, and it's about as good a feeling as you can have to see guys get opportunities because of this program. And then finally today is the culmination. We have John McConnell coming in to visit with our team. We have had selected speakers throughout, all the way from Jamie Dimon, and obviously the culmination today is going to be John McConnell and some great speakers in between. I think we should get a list of the guys. It was Cameron Mitchell, it was George Kaufman, Mike Andrews. So we had some really good speakers along our journey. And everybody gets a shirt and tie, gets cleaned up. The barber was in the last couple of days, and they look good. And they're gonna the networking officially begins for some of those guys today. And they have a nice leather folder. They go over, they collect business cards. We have our kids on LinkedIn, so they can start the network process, and then we go with it. I had a meeting with each player after spring ball, and we didn't talk football at all. We all talked about our 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and how we're going to get there. And then they're going to take notes. This is all on their iPad that we provide them. And then after this job there, I'm going to meet with each one individually again, and they're going to take notes from what they experienced today. So obviously we're not just talking about it. This is a lot of effort gone into this.
Open up for questions. Steve.
Yeah, Coach, just in regards to this program, sounds like this is something you guys have been ramping up and adding more to each year. And just, have you seen some real life examples of guys who've benefited from the first parts of this last year or two? You know, the guys that don't get drafted that need to go right into the workforce.
Well, now we're able to have testimony. I always use the word theory or testimony. Zach Domicone, for example, came in and spoke to our guys about he benefiting, got a job out of this program. And he gives them real life experience. You know, I know Corey Lindsley is playing the NFL, but he came in and spoke this year. So we always get a former player to come in and give them the benefits of what this program has done. So the answer is yes. We obviously the first year we weren't able to because it was a charter program we just started. So now to see guys benefit from it. Josh Perry has had plenty of opportunities he's going to have just because of this program and who he is, obviously.
I want to follow up just in terms of Braxton Miller, and let's say Tyvis Powell, guys who graduated. What are the rules pertaining to what they have to do to be able to participate during this May period and then during the summer? And I presume they have to be in class to play in the fall. Just what are the rules regarding that, and what is maybe in particular Braxton's status as a student right now at the university?
Two things you can do. One is take graduate school courses like Darrell Baldwin has done. I think Tyvis might be doing that. I don't want to. We can get that to him. So the kids that have graduated, Braxton has not. He's taken a very light load to stay eligible, and because he has so much rehab to do, that for him to work on a master's degree, we sat down and discussed it, and we both made the decision that's probably not in his best interest because of the time he has to spend on rehab. So each one's different, but you can either continue taking courses like a second major, or you can start graduate work.
Dave.
Coach, I know it's unrealistic. Do you think most players, when they come to a place like Ohio State, especially a place like Ohio State, think that they're going to be NFL players? Most freshmen, when they get here, do they think they're going to be NFL players?
I bet it's 100%. 100% of scholarship players who come to Ohio State, top 10 places think to go.
And how do you balance that in recruiting? Obviously, wanting to sell that Ohio State's a great place to get to the NFL and prove it with.
Well, you have to. You have to sell that because the minute you say, well, that's not what we do. And we're very proud. There used to be a stigma, and I get kind of upset when I hear that. Well, you know, don't just think about the NFL. It's like telling a great artist, don't just think about being an artist. A great musician, don't just think about becoming a musician. Absolutely think about it. Now, however, don't let that get in the way of your plan B, we call it. And your plan B is if something happens where you can't live the rest of your life because of what you earned in football, which is the majority of people who play the game.
Ryan. Bill.
Do you ever, like when you see Josh Perry get a job offer last summer, for example, do you learn things about the players from how they go through this, and does that factor into things, going forward, like captaincy and just general things like that?
Yeah, I'm going to learn a lot about our guys today. Fortunately, I'm missing today. First one I've ever missed. But Nate Meyer's got a regional championship to play in Dayton, Ohio. So, first one I'm going to miss. But absolutely, I learned so much about our players, and whether it'll be captain, whether it'll be represent the Big Ten at media days, all the above.
Far left. Lori.
Along those lines, are there transferable skills that they're picking up in this program that they apply to football? Do they approach maybe football more professionally, or is there any benefit from a football standpoint for this?
Well, I think it's all tied together, but we have on purpose, sometimes we'll have agent education as part of this as well. We will have, that was Corey Lindsley, a big part of his message was to have the misunderstanding that, to have him, he actually went through a paycheck. When you pay your taxes, when you pay your agent, when you pay this, you're going to find out that everybody tells you it's not that. It's not the Aaron Rodgers contract. It's the typical rookie contract. And I think that's good that everyone understands that. This plan B is real important, because even if you play 5-6 years, you're going to have to work for another 35-40 years.
How much can you make that a part of your recruiting pitch, though, Urban? Because I don't imagine a high school young man wants to imagine that they'll ever have to deal with real life, let alone prepare for it.
I think that's changed a little bit. I think that there's been so much emphasis and education on it. And usually the ones we deal with, Plan B is a big part of it. You sit with the mom and dad, and mom and dad's get it. And maybe an 18 or 17-year-old thinks this, but it's been a hit, obviously, recruiting as well. If someone recruited my daughter and told us, or Nate coming up the ranks, we do this for you, I'm shaking their hand and saying, that's where you're going. And that's why we're real proud of it.
Good luck to Nate.
Tim.
Urban, if you were at Bowling Green, I'm wondering, would you have the same response from like big time industry, et cetera, like you have here and stuff? But is that taking advantage also of, y'all's status as Ohio State, you know, national, I mean, do you find companies wanting to be part of it? I
Over the
guess?
top. Over the top.
Right.
Here's what they're telling me, corporate America, and I could single out a few, but many guys said, who does not want to hire a guy that knows about selflessness, being part of a team, commitment, time management, and more importantly, solving issues in front of 30 million people on television playing Oregon, or whatever the millions it was, or 110,000. You know, our guys go to work every day in front of 110,000 people. Everybody wants to hire those guys. Unfortunately, I don't think people have done a great job getting those guys in front of corporate America. We have, and now it's over the top. Here's our built-in advantage. And I've tried this other places. Corporate America is 2 miles away. You know, sometimes corporate America is 2.5, 3 hours away, and it's hard to get them here or get them to be a part of it. And when you start talking about shadow opportunities, intern opportunities, you know, J.P. Morgan Chase and Huntington, what these people mean to this community, and they want Ohio State people, the right people.
Yeah.
And that's not everybody. That's the other thing that you know, the guys that are, you know, the not very disciplined human beings, we don't have to worry about shadow opportunities because you're not doing it. But the real guys that handle the business, yeah, we'll buy you the shirt, we'll buy you the tie and the jacket, and we'll even get you there.
You touched on it, I'm going to ask you, talk about your son, getting to watch him suit up in football last fall, at your coach's convention, and watching him now. What is this? I'm not getting into the new Urban Meyer, but what is it like to see your son sort of following in your footsteps, but on a team that's excelling? What does it mean to you?
Well, you know, I've been lucky that all three of my children have been really well coached. We have a great baseball coach, a great team. He's learning incredible life lessons, because I watch more of that than just winning games. I mean, I love watching them win, but I want him to learn the great lessons that athletics teach, and it's been phenomenal. So, real emotional to watch him, to see him not get more damn nervous than he does. Yeah, the backhand, we're having no hitters going. He gets a backhand, and I'm like, oh, and he made the play, and oh my God. So it's just, I'm living the dream, man. To see him do that,
Yeah.
I can't think of any better.
Bill.
I want to ask you a football question. Has Braxton started throwing? Where is he in the progression?
He's throwing. Oh no, he started throwing. I think he's up to 35 yards. They're monitoring it very closely. He's very aggressive up to 25, I'd say right now. We can't be out there watching, but our strength coach is out there, and he's got the zip on the ball. He's working his tail off. He's in the best shape he's ever been in his life. God knows you've seen him. He's kind of tight. He's lost a little bit of weight. He's real muscular. I mean, he's done a great job.
How confident are you? Can't know for sure. You thought this time last year he was in good shape, but how confident are you that he physically will be able to compete for the job?
Oh, very confident. Next week we'll actually be able to be with them without a ball. So it's called discretionary. These first 3 weeks they were back in the Maymester. It's called discretionary time, and that we can't be with them. It's all voluntary time, which they've done a very good job with that. Next week it's mandatory for 1 week. We get to go do, I think it's 2 hours a week. We're going to go out and work with them a little bit, and then they get a week off. I mean, I'm planning when he gets back. No, we can't be out there once again when he's throwing the ball.
And you're confident. I mean, you know he's coming back now. I mean, what has he
Comes back.
told you straight up he's going to be with you in the
Yes.
fall? Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you make of all the speculation out there? He's going there, he's going visiting this, visiting that.
I really didn't. My wife pays attention. I don't know that. I don't. It's just people talking. I guess I don't know. I mean, everybody can. I don't want to look like a clown. Also, he makes a decision to do something. But I mean, he's coming. He's playing for Ohio State. So I don't know where that even. I don't know where that comes from.
Clay.
Coach, one thing on your son, as a former pro baseball player, I mean, has he come to you, or are there little things in the infield that, I mean, you know what I mean, that you can't just, hey, let me help you here a little bit?
Yeah, I'm funny about that because you know I don't want to be that guy that's overbearing. He'll ask, and I'll throw my 2 cents if I see something. But he's been very well coached to this point. He's doing great.
Is there a contingency?
Much better player than his dad.
Really? He's got a future? He's got a future? Is there a contingency plan for Braxton if he can't be a quarterback?
Oh, great question.
have you discussed him playing another position?
No.
He's good at QB.
No, the objective is to get him healthy and get him healthy to be quarterback for Ohio State.
All right, we're gonna get ready and close, but Tim, you had asked me about, you had given me that one question about you, Coach, and tonight, and getting the freshmen to buy in and to realize that, hey, football could be over, you know, the plan B. Do you mind just articulating that?
I forget what questions I'm asking sometimes, but I want, Urban, do you find these guys go through a little osmosis or transition to where they understand, from like you said, coming in, everybody wants to be an NFL player, that they understand through this program that there are other things you need to be taken care of?
Well, here's a great example. Every kid, not every kid, a majority of our players, what do you want to do? I want to be in business. Okay, let's go with that a little bit. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I'm embarrassed to say I wasn't quite aware what that meant when we first started this program. And business, you got so many opportunities to go in whatever direction you want. You want to be in law enforcement. It's endless what you can do. You want to be in sports administration. Nowadays, it's endless what you can do. So it's our job to expose them. So if you're sitting in the back room as a freshman, you say, I want to be in business. We've had people from financial planning, entrepreneurs, sales, marketing, all those people come in, tell them what your career path is, tell them what a day in the life of what you do is, and the kid might say, that sucks, I don't want to do that, or that's very appealing to me. And then they start migrating to those people. And so when you walk into job fair tonight, the way Ryan has it set up, each room has got the different, so they go to where they're interested. And that's when you start collecting business cards. Next week, we'll actually take a team meeting and make them sure they'll LinkedIn and email the people they met. So now the official network process has begun. So it's really cool. I mean, once again, we didn't have this when I was a young person. So you didn't really know. How many kids know what they want to do?
Right.
And so it's our job. And that's why I think colleges have failed, but not just, I can't speak for like the engineering department or business department. I'm not sure universities have done a very good job of that, exposing them to different careers. And once again, if you're in corporate America, who does not want to hire that 3.5 student that's a football player at any university? You know, whether it be Bowling Green, Miami, Cincinnati, or Ohio State, who doesn't want to hire that guy? They have leadership skills, they have time management skills, they understand about being selfless. The great ones, I mean, the ones that get it. Not all of them, but those. And that's our job to expose them to these companies.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Good luck to Nate, Tim.
Yeah.